a little picnic area over here. This one's not quite as nice as the other one he had, I don't think. It's not the biggest fan of when they're off to the side like this and they kind of look out of place or random. It's cool when they're more integrated with the path, make it more accessible. So you have Top Spin, Hillbilly Roundup. Wow, nice name, I guess. It's kind of very odd. Hillbilly Roundup. Jeez, what are you trying to do? Catch people? Oh man. Wagon Wheel. And then this is probably the weirdest question in the park to me, called Lasso the Pig. I'm not a farmer or anything, but I don't know. I don't know if farmers lasso pigs. I get what he's trying to do. You know, it's a coaster. Who cares what the name is? But that's kind of weird name. I guess you could then like lasso the cow or something. I don't know, something that would make a little bit more sense. But maybe just try to do this so that he had some bright color, now than just standard brown or black or whatever. Yeah. Let's see what else. I think we've talked about everything. Obviously, there's a merry-go-round here, some buildings. I do like the foliage in this park. I think most of this, yeah, actually layered foliage, so we didn't just put the bushes around the trees. They actually put the bushes under the trees, which I think is a really nice touch. It adds a lot more fullness and it's a lot nicer than people just make a bunch of trees and then have shorter foliage around it instead of under it. That's also always nice to see. And then I think this is probably one of the more unique electric field scenarios I've seen because it's very spread out and you have all the rides on the outside. I think it's very well planned. It's kind of blocky, I guess, but default objects, not really much you can do. I'm not sure if he submitted this competitively, although I guess every submission is competitive, I think. I can't remember. You can submit parks non-competitively anymore or not, but I think I'd probably give this about 55 or 60. I mean, I don't know. I have a hard time giving scenario parks high scores because I feel like they're small and at the same time, you already have the map made for you. There's not really, I don't know. It's not really anything, amazing or not that it's bad at all. I mean, it's probably one of the better field parks probably ever made. But I don't know. I mean, I feel like it's kind of hard to vote on these scenario parks because you don't really know how to score them, or at least for me. But if I were to give a survey, I can probably give it 55 or 60 out of 100, which is pretty good. I mean, a park this size. So yeah, this was again Electric Fields by Big Shooter Gill. And check that out on any if you want to download it yourself. Next, we're going to look at again another Electric Fields park. This one is Maxwell's Electric Fields, made by Maxwell. obviously very different on the approach than the last park we saw. It's definitely more organic layout. It's not really squared off or blocking. I think you did a good job of laying this park out, although I guess it's kind of awkward with all these attractions butted up against the borders. And I think, I mean, I don't know if this is against the rules for scenario parks, but doing this, I think would have made it look a lot nicer. And it's kind of like adding some foliage or something around the outside, or a custom fence or something to make it a little bit more organic feeling and not, you know, so cramped. But yeah, I like this little midway area, kind of cramped, but I guess that's kind of the whole feeling of this park is crampedness and compactness, which is cool. Interesting buildings. Again, another bridge to start off. I actually really like this coaster. Looping Lightning the Station is pretty cool. I like how he has these diagonal cue covers that also it's always been it just kind of breaks up grid. This backstage area with some defunct rides and stuff. That's cool to see. I mean, I don't know if there's ever been a backstage area in a scenario park like this. But that's also really cool. Yeah, it's kind of I guess inspired by Schwarzkopf multi-looper, like fair rides. Yeah, I mean, lots of color in this park too. Lots of little planters and awnings and, you know, stuff like this makes the path really interesting, which is really cool to see. And then moving up to Midway, we have a GCI, which is called Thunderbird, or GCI-ish, I should guess. I actually really like the coasters in this park a lot more than the last park. I think their layouts are a lot more interesting. And the coasters themselves are much better placed and themed, I guess. Yeah, I actually really like this layout. It's just, you know, everything you'd want in a scenario park like this. Moving this way, I believe this is called the Frightening Factory. Dark ride. Again, very cool theming to see a dark ride like this in a scenario park. Pretty cool. And we have the main mass of buildings, which has a Ferris wheel in the middle, which is cool to see. Yeah, very interesting and well done area here where you have the default scenery buildings kind of propped up like this. It's a very cool use of those objects. It doesn't really make them feel forced out of place. And I really like when they did this. You had like this little seating area and then use this building as a backstage, this little stage show, which is very cool. Again, a little bit more buildings. And we also have a red SNS tower. This one actually is a drop tower. I think this is a penny for gold. Yeah, that's cool. You know, lots of little things with the path and stuff that make it a little bit more interesting. On the other side, is this? Thunder Down Under? No. Emerald Empire, which is like a restaurant. Again, this is another restaurant, I guess. A second dark ride. Hellgate Prison. It's a very, very dense little area right here. I like how we integrated all these buildings together. Seems like something a real park would do. Little food stand, and this is a shuttle. I actually really like this queue-in station as well. So I look a lot better than it probably would otherwise. Of course, it's broken down. Anyways, I guess we'll move on. They have a little rope climb, which is cool. Target shoot right here. He has one of these foliage natural, landscape awnings, which is cool. Very common in southern parks to see those. This is pretty nicely done. Good use of the space rather than just having it open. Also really like how he has these mazes here. Gardens of Nin. Cool pirate ship ride. Got some water theming here. And let's see what this is. Magic carpet. Little I don't know what you call these rides. Wild Mouse automobile car ride. Interesting use of these scrolling signs here to create like a wall text effect. I'm not the biggest fan of the building itself though, but I think that the wall text really makes up for it. This magic cover I called Shangri-La. Some nice cute covers, simple but looks really nice, and that's kind of what you're going for on these generic parks. Not to overcomplicate things, but at the same time make it look nice. I actually really like how you walk under the panning for gold thing right here. That's pretty cool. I don't know if these are all the same ride actually. Yeah. Then you have a junior coaster, which I guess is the classic like Big Apple, I think it's called, layout, figure eight, double figure eight. The giant grub. Good use of these giant garden theming objects. Don't really see those used that much at all anymore, or ever, I guess. They're pretty terrible usually, but I think you really use them to good effect here. Then we come down through the midway on this side. And more cool use of this maze to use up the space for the path. Some cool little flat rides here. All have their interesting and unique theme or color scheme, or thinking about them that makes them unique and interesting to see and look at. I didn't mention this before. I actually really like these wooden poles used on this coaster. They give a cool classic feeling, I guess, because a lot of times the roller coaster would have lamps up the lift for the nighttime. And then we have the haunted house, which I know Maxwell's a big fan of haunted houses. I like how he themed this one. Some kind of buildings around it and kind of off by itself. And interesting. Cool bridge, some theming